Okay. Hello. We're back. I'm back. Hopefully you're back. We're back with another NBA NCAA live stream today. Hope you all are doing well. Hope you and your family are doing well. Hope you're Tuesday, the first couple of days into this new week, technically the last week of February, are going well for you. This is going to be as quick of a stream as possible because I have something else that I have to do within the next half hour. So, yeah, that's going to take up probably a bulk of time. And yeah, I'm going to be rushing through some stuff. So, give me 1 second here. Let me, I guess, pull up that real quick. I forgot to, this is my fault, I forgot to pull up one extra spot here. Again, be as quickly as possible. That was my fault. I was rushing to get the stream set up, get my last couple of picks out for the day. I'm going to be going a little bit lighter today. I would have probably done a bit more diving into my picks for the NBA and NCAA today, but work was super busy for me. I'm training a new employee, so yeah, I didn't have any time to really, whatever downtime I did have, I didn't even have any time to really dive into any of my picks for today. So I kind of did what I could before I started work. Well, before I got to work, and then while I was there before I got started. So yeah. So as always, go follow me over on Twitter here or X at Vortex46 for all of my picks. So last night I had 22 picks in total. I kind of went a little overboard, a little bit, just a smidge, more than what I did. I think I had 16 the day before or something like that. But ultimately, it does say I went 3-19, but technically I went like 3-16 because, as always, when you round robin a pick, those specific picks for a round robin, all of the picks count towards your record on Pickett. So technically, it was well, actually no, I think I went 3-17 or 3-18, something like that. So it was a round robin pick for college. Had I only poured like $1 and some change on the round robin, so had I added had I did a $5 round robin instead of $1.90, if I remember correctly, I think I would have won something. It wouldn't have been the amount that I was hopeful for. That it was a 10 leg, it missed by 3, so I think per the extra round robin, had I put the $5 instead of $1, so basically I guess pretty much had I did 7-3 how I did last night for that 10 leg parlay, I would have won something. It would have been maybe probably like a few bucks type of thing, maybe, but yeah, as I always say, go and pick it. It's a free app. It follows all of your plays, your picks, and all of that, your sports books, all of that, tied all onto one app. This is what it looks like on your phone. Like I said, I went 3 for roughly 17 and 18. So these are all my, pretty much the 3 wins were from the NBA. I went 3 for 3. I forgot to mention that too, per what I talked about here on the Twitter. So yeah. I did have 16 picks last night, but I went 0-10 for NCAA. So basically, the last 2 days, I've gone 10. I'm now officially 10 and like 21, I think, or something like that. Originally, I started 9-1 back on Saturday, and then lost 9, I think 9 or 8, something like that. The day after on Sunday, and then yesterday. Last night, 0-10. So yeah, that it is what it is. But I did go 3-3, like I said, per my NBA wins, my 3 NBA. I thought, I talked about it on live stream yesterday. I thought that the Utah Jazz, we're diving into the recap here, guys, from yesterday. I thought the Utah Jazz pick was gonna fall through because none of their key starters. Marketing, um, I think Clarkson didn't play last night. He usually comes off the bench, but so yeah, Marketing, Claxton, Sexton, somebody I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was somebody else that was key. Oh, Collins, it was somebody else, but there was like 4 players that were key to the team. They weren't playing, and I'm a little shocked, but I'll take the pick hitting. I took Utah Jazz on the spread 5.5. And it dipped up to 6.5, but they cashed. They at least covered the spread with that pick, even in a loss at home. The other one was I felt really good about the pick with Minnesota and OKC. I literally felt really good about the pick. I just wasn't sure about us winning because again we literally did win the last. We won the night before in Minnesota by 7, and I took the Minnesota to cover the spread, and they did. But this one I just wasn't sure about, Minnesota recovering the spread again back-to-back games. So I didn't take the spread. I took the over at 227.5. So as you see, they scored 259 points. And the other pick that did cash was for the under for the Philadelphia 76ers under team total points, and that was 118.5. And as you see, they scored 110. So that worked out, but everything else just fell through, which includes, like I said, all of my college basketball picks. All of them fell through. And as you see, some of them missed by 2 points or a few points. 1 point. It's just like, it was one of those nights. Most of the games kind of just went over the total and stuff like that. Like, it was just wild. Like, McNeese, I put them down to fade their team total points. It's right here, I think it is. Yeah, McNeese right here, under 80.5. I didn't see them scoring 100 points last night, even at home. I really thought that if they were gonna, bypass this, it would have been like a few points or a couple of points, but that didn't work out. So that is that. But that's pretty much the recap. Let's dive into these picks for both the NBA and then we'll dive into the college picks. Like I said, it's just a few NBA picks that I took, a couple of lock picks. I went 0-2 on my lock picks from yesterday as well. I forgot to mention that. I don't think, let me double check here. What was it? I kind of forgot my I think it was Atlanta going over their team total points. As you see, they did. Yeah, Atlanta didn't cash. They only scored 98 points at home. I literally thought that Miami was going to allow them to score 113 points last time, but that didn't cash. And the other one, I think. Oh, it was. I think. Yeah. I think it was. See, I got so much stuff on my brain. I think it was the Sacramento Kings going under the team total points, 125. And as you see, they scored 130 points. I should have faded the Hornets on the team total points, and I didn't. So these are the 2 lock picks. These are the rest of basically the picks that I have. I didn't pick every game tonight. I just picked a few. So we are going to go on ahead and dive into what we're going to dive into here. Actually, I think I have actually shared my picks on my Twitter. Also, if you're a Star Wars fan, because I'm a Star Wars fan, if you haven't watched Andor season 2 teaser trailer, it dropped yesterday. I just found that out today, so I'm really excited about that. So first lock pick is the Celtics at the Raptors here. This is pretty much the first. I decided to go with the over 226.5. As we really look at this, I really looked at more so what they were doing per their positions, their certain spots. So as we look here and see, Boston is 6-4 to the over currently over the last 10 games. Technically, like hitting the mark 3 out of the last 5. They're like up and down when it's pertaining to the over hitting. Even a lot. This is they're pretty much on a little bit of a trend. As you see, the last 5 games, on the second they went over, the next game they went under, game after that over, next game under, next game over. So per the trend, you would think that it might go under tonight, but here's why I decided to go with it. Toronto, 5 straight games, the over is hit, and technically, they've hit this 6 out of 4. So it's the swap of the numbers. Boston's 4-6 over the last 10 games for the over. Toronto at home is 6-4. But again, 5 straight games that the over is hit. But in the head-to-head matchup, the under has hit 3 times in their meetings at Toronto specifically. But when we look at it too, Boston away. Boston. That's pretty much what I wanted to know. That's what it was. Toronto at home, the under has hit every time that they've played Boston at home. So we'll see what happens with this pick. This is the first lock pick for that one. Next up was I took a player prop. It was Bonchero. I decided to see if this is a risky pick. Main reason I'm taking Bonchero for his points tonight. He is currently averaging over the last 10 games per his points 22 currently over the last 10 games, but the last 5 games 26. But he's gone under this 22 and a half. This is where I got it at too. I almost forgot to mention where I got the pick at. Please forgive me. I got it on DraftKings minus 105. So it's minus 105, same spot, DraftKings. So this is what he's averaging in the last 5 games. Per the powerful position, the Boston Celtics are actually allowing literally 23 points, 22.6. The head-to-head matchup, though, he's actually averaging 26 points in a head-to-head matchup over the last several games, playing against Cleveland, whether at home or on the road. But more specifically, as you look here, the last 5 games, it looks like he's even averaging over 30. So I decided to go with this more so because of the more recent games that he's had against Cleveland. And even so, the more recent one at home, he had 27 points. So I just said, let me take that. So those are pretty much the 2 lock picks there. The over for the Celtics Toronto game, and Bonchero to go over 23 points. Next pick is the Houston Rockets team total 113 and a half. I got this minus 140 over on FanDuel. So as you see here, they're actually getting another risky pick because they're averaging 108 points over the last 10 games, but the last 5 just a little bit more, 109. Technically have gone over this number 3 out of the last 5, and 5 out of the last 5 for the last 10. The Milwaukee Bucks that they're going against, that they're hosting, they're averaging 113 points currently over the last several games. But in a head-to-head matchup, Houston is actually averaging 110. So this is around the number. I just kind of have this feeling that they can hit this 114 tonight. We'll see what happens because, again, the last few games, they've actually hit it 3 times out of the last 5. So we'll see what happens with this pick. And the final pick for the NBA that I took, if I decide to pick anything else, I'll post it on Twitter. But that's currently not the forefront of my brain right now because, like I said, I'm rushing to get this stream done as quickly as possible because I have to get ready to do something literally in 20 minutes. I decided to fade my Memphis Grizzlies here, and I don't have it. I did post the Rockets one. I have to post the Grizzlies one. So I grabbed the 127.5 minus 132 over on FanDuel. I actually grabbed that at minus 128, so it did bump up a little bit. So this is good. I got a little bit better value, but minus 128 on FanDuel for them to go under the team total points 128 and a half. Oh, excuse me, 127 and a half. Over the last 10 games, they're averaging 120, literally just shy of 121 over the last 10 games. Last 5, though, we're actually averaging 115, 114.8. The Phoenix Suns are allowing 115 points, just a couple points shy of 116 in the last 5 games. But in a head-to-head matchup, though, last 5 straight games, they've gone under this mark, literally only going over 120 points one time, and that was last season back on January 7th of 2024. They're actually averaging 111 points. So I feel real comfortable about this pick. As always, if you've been fading this team, technically the last 6 games, looks like, yep, you have cashed every single time. So what I should have done, because I did cash, I think it was on this one, I think, may have been this one, whichever one, I should have basically taken those funds and put it on here. That would have cashed for that one, and then taken that funds to put it on the ticket that I have tonight to add on. That's how you build a bankroll too, just to kind of let you know. Follow a trend and hope that, you know, the trend continues in a specific way so that you can win some actual money. That's how you build a bankroll for if you're just deciding to build one. You can ultimately build a multitude of a plethora of bankrolls, to be honest. So yeah, that's the picks for the NBA. I'm feeling good about these picks for tonight. It's only a few, and like I said, I only have a few NCAA picks for tonight. Let's dive into these basketball picks here once this pulls up on Outlier. In the midst of me, that's the thing, in the midst of me losing a lot with NCAA, I'm still having fun with these college games, betting on them, looking at the stats, going with my gut feeling of stuff hitting, maybe possibly hitting, taking a chance on some things, taking a chance on some spreads, and just saying, you know, hey, screw it. Because again, a lot of my picks the last 2 games, they've been losing by literally a couple of points to a few points. So I'm feeling real good about these picks. It's just that, you know, sports is unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen. Again, like I talked about with the McNeese pick, when I literally said that, I showed y'all that I decided to fade them on their points at 80 and a half. How was I supposed to, you know, any of us were supposed to expect them to go out there and score 100 points last night, even at home? Didn't even see that happening, and they knocked that out the park. So if you relied on them to go over their team total points, that cash for you. So that's what I'm saying. You got to have fun even in this realm of betting, of the betting scene. Yes, you're playing with your own funds. You literally are. Most of us are, or using, unless you're using crypto money, but or stock money. But at the end of the day, you're still playing with funds that are coming out of your pocket, and you know your hope is that you're, you know, building a positive bankroll. You know, a lot of us are, you know, trying to figure out a positive bankroll, figure out a better way to bet, and hope that it sticks. Because, you know, that's the thing about us betting. We have our own little trends that we follow, per our own type of style of betting, and we're successful sometimes and we're not successful, and we go on winning streaks and we go on losing streaks. That's a part of, you know, the betting life, you know. But let's dive into these few picks here that I have here. Okay, so this one may or may not go my way. We will see specifically how this rolls. So I don't know why I clicked on the actual game when technically I should have just clicked the spread. I decided to go with the spread here. I decided to go on ahead and bet on Marquette to win by, originally it was what is it? Got this on BetMGM. Originally was 12.5. It was minus 115 over on BetMGM. So it bumped up one number to 13.5. So I decided to go with Marquette to cover the spread tonight. As you see here at home, they're struggling to cover the spread. Like literally struggling to cover over the last 10 games. They've only covered it 3 times. Providence, though, away have covered the spread literally 8 out of the last 10 games. You would sit here and say, yes, go on ahead and take Providence, hammer that. I was literally about to, but I really looked at it and I was like, well, hold on. Let's look at Marquette away, and then let's look at Providence away, and then let's look at Marquette. So when we really look at Providence's scores, they are close. They are losing games though, right? But they are close. And they're very, as you see, they're very rarely blowing out a team, or very, even more so rarely being blown out. So again, you're looking at this, and I'm just like, I got to look at the, Marquez offense versus Providence's offense versus their defense, as we really look at per the points and stuff, scoring wise. It literally is pointing towards, Marquette, because Marquette's defense is allowing 67 points. 68 points, while Providence is scoring 72 per the stats here. But then we look at Marquette versus Providence's defense. Providence is allowing 72 points, while Marquette is scoring close to 80, which is 77. They're stealing, the Marquette's defense towards the steals are up, so that plays a key role. Rebounding wise, Providence is better at the defensive side of things. So I, just said like, hey, maybe Marquette can be here at home tonight. They literally just blew out it looks like Seton Hall here in the last game on the 18th. They won that game, by 24 points. Maybe, possibly, this can happen again tonight in a back-to-back spot here. But again, they only have won by the number basically twice over the last 5 games, technically. So I just said, I'm going to take a huge chance. I'm going to take a huge risk. When you really look at the money line too, look at this. It's minus 1,000 to their plus 700. So if anything, Providence may more than likely possibly cover the spread at now 13.5. We'll see. But I just decided to go with the ranked team versus the underdog. I decided to do that. And I love taking underdogs. And y'all see that a lot in my picks. I like to take, spreads that are 10 plus and be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and go with the dog, because the dog may at least cover the spread in the midst of them losing, whether at home or on the road, against a ranked team or non-ranked team. So that's just something that I decided to roll with. Next up is Duke at, where are you? And you know what? I forgot to do, which I just might do here on the stream here. I'll have one live pick in a minute. Okay, so this number dipped up, I think 2 points. I think it was 21.5 earlier this morning at like literally at like 5 in the morning when I was looking at this stuff. But I decided to go with the under for this game. Duke, which was, I got this over on DraftKings, minus 112, 151 and a half, but it dipped up to 152. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that, but I'll just swap to the under real quickly once this pulls up. Let's see. Okay, we're rolling because I got like 12 minutes. I got something I got to do around 6 o'clock, so I gotta try to, because that's gonna take like an hour and a half. But as we look at here, Duke away, they've been smashing the under all 10 games. I think that's the main reason why I grabbed this, mainly. But also too, we look at Miami. Last couple of times they've covered the last 5 games, but the over is hit more so over the last 10 games. Like 50-50, right? Head-to-head matchup. The under actually hit in the last game, but that was last season. As you see, it was 84. Miami lost to Duke 84-55, and they only scored 139 points to that 148 total spot. But that's the main reason, because Duke has been like literally like cashing the under here specifically for the most part over the last 10 games. So I just said, let me just go with the under here. Let's see what happens. Let's see if this will actually like maybe it will occur where they go out here and say score 80 plus points and Miami scores like around 60 or under type of thing. Maybe that will occur, and this just sticks. So we'll see with this pick here specifically. And the Next up, going back to good old Dominion here, and I'm going with Old Dominion to cover the spread tonight. Went with another spread, right? If I remember correctly, right? Yeah. So I got this over on Bet365. I mentioned this in yesterday's stream where I haven't had a Bet365 pick in a long time, and lo and behold, Outlier gave me a Bet365 pick for them to cover the spread at 10.5 on the road. But as always, they are the underdog. They are, per the money line currently, they are plus 470 to Marshall's the Thundering Herd, 480. The minus 480. So Old Dominion, when you really look at this is one other side of to grab for them away, because they've been hitting the mark 60% of the time, 6 out of the last 10 games. They've been up and down over the last 5, cashing on the covering the number and then not covering number, covering the number and not covering. So they're 3-2 over the last 5. But when you look at it even more, they're technically 6-2 over the last 8 games, covering the number, while Marshall at home have struggled to cover the number at all. They've only covered it 2 out of the last 10 games. So head-to-head matchup last season, Old Dominion on the road covered the number, winning that game 83-76. So I just said screw it. Let me just go with the team that has been basically covered the number a bit more than the favorite. Let's see if they can at least lose by under 10 points tonight. We'll see what happens. I did have a pick for a spread last night. It was Lamar to cover the plus 1.5, and they lost by, remember correctly, they lost by 12. So that that happens. It is what it is. Like, just decided to take a chance. Next up was I think this was over. Yeah, Florida heading to my Georgia Bulldogs. I took the over. Now, I grabbed this morning on FanDuel at minus 105. All right. So the Gators have been 50-50 with covering this number. Now, I think it looked like it dipped up to 149.5, minus 105 over on DraftKings. But I more so looked at what Georgia was doing at home the last few games. So they're 2-3 over the last 5 games, covering the number. But again, more recently, I decided to go with us at home because my Bulldogs have at least covered the number back-to-back games. Again, Florida struggling to cover the number. They've had a back-to-back where they've gone under the total. So let's hope that this goes over. We'll see what happens specifically with this pick. Per both teams, they're Florida's averaging 84 points. My Bulldogs are averaging 79. That's technically not 79, 69. That's technically around 140 something points shy of the number. So we will see if this hits or not. But we'll just have to take the chance that this does indeed hit. And that, folks, betting folks, that's it. That's all the picks for today. If I see anything else, that's literally what I was talking about, what I was thinking about doing. Pitt is my home team. I haven't bet on Pitt yet this year. Plus 8.5. Let me see what Pitt is doing at home. Last 5 games, they have literally only covered. Well, it does say they covered 2 games in a row, but it's showing red at the minus 11.5, so it may have been 9 or something like that. The number must have fluctuated. But then Georgia Tech away, they haven't covered really either. So this is an interesting spot. I am gonna go on ahead and so Pitt Georgia. Oh, sorry, that's Georgia Tech. Yeah, Pitt really isn't covering. They did beat Syracuse at home by 11 in the last game, but again, that was the last game. But as we're really looking here, they really are not covering this 8.5. So I'm gonna go on ahead. I'm gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this last one. This is gonna be live. I just gotta relog back into FanDuel real quick, and I'm out of here because like I said, I have to get started on this thing real quick. Make sure that I'm making the magic happen here. Get rid of that because I already put something. Oh, nope, no, don't want to do that. Let me close it. Trying to rush, trying to hurry up because I gotta get out of here. It's minus 105 over on FanDuel. So I grabbed Georgia Tech to cover the spread tonight against my Pitt Panthers, my home team. That plus 8.5. So we'll see what happens with this pick. This is a live pick, only live pick, my last pick for tonight. That's it. I'm out. I'll holler at you later, guys. Hope you all have a good evening, rest of your Tuesday. And tomorrow, because I'm off tomorrow, live stream early in the morning, 8 a.m., 8 or 8:30 a.m. We'll dive into the NBA picks, NCAA picks. I'll be looking at stuff early in the morning. Hopefully, I can try to do it tonight. Because last night, I want to say before 8 p.m., I conked out. I was knocked out. I was asleep. I woke up at 2 a.m. I was like, where am I at? And I was like, wait, because this is my guest room. This is where I do a lot of my live streams. So I was like, where am I at? And I was like, why am I still in my guest room? I need to get up and go in my room, kind of get comfortable in my bed. So, yeah. I missed out on a whole bunch of stuff last night. And yeah, but in the NBA and in college. So as woke up to, me losing more than winning by a lot. But we'll see what happens with tonight. Leave some comments section if you feel up to it. Let's talk about some things in the comments if you feel up to it. And I will hopefully talk to you all with my live stream for NBA and NCAA picks for tomorrow's Wednesday's games. I'll holler at you.